Hey internet, the other day I lied to everybody in Emily's Away. I ruined my conscience, if you remember. I screwed over Gom, Z, and Tom, because they're never gonna see what it's like to get laid. And I swindled everybody. I lied to Emily, I manipulated. I didn't really lie, okay? I alternative truthed her, which is fine sometimes in a relationship. It's never fine. So I decided on Twitter, let's ask the internet, let's have the internet ask us questions, and we will title it ChilledChaos Exposed, where I will answer your questions for real. I will give you honest answers, okay? You wanna know about me? And some of you ask hard-hitting questions, okay? Very personal questions. But you wanna know about the true me? Since I lied in that video with the fake girls, let me tell you the truth about my life. I have alcohol ready, although it's all empty because Jess already drank it. And I'm ready to go through some questions. I'm gonna be as truthful as I can. Sometimes I may not embellish for the sake of we don't wanna get anyone in trouble. Have you ever done anything illegal? I'm the FBI asks. Nope, never. Maria asks, have you ever lied to impress a girl in real life? Well, I mean, what is a lie, right? Like, what do you consider a lie to be? Like a fabrication of the truth? Yeah, okay. Yes, I was once asked if I would stop fapping in a relationship. Because that wasn't the most religious thing to do, and I said yes I would stop, and I didn't stop. So that would be I don't know if it's impressing a girl, but I definitely lied. And here's the problem: they were proud of me for stopping, but I just took all the praise and I just lied. I just complete out fucking lied. I'm sorry. If you're watching this, I'm sorry. Jorge asks, have you ever had romantic feelings towards men? Fuck. I think we've all been in a growing up where we've just wondered a little bit about ourselves, right? Potato God asks, how much do you love ZeRoyalViking? I gotta be completely honest here, okay? Because that's the point of this video, ChilledChaos Exposed. And see, this is gonna break your goddamn heart, and I apologize, okay? The last thing I wanna do is hurt a Canadian, because you guys don't hurt anybody. I don't dig the facial hair. Like, if I was gonna be gay, and we've all had our thoughts, if I was gonna be gay, I would go for a clean cut, slick back hair. Okay, probably what Hitler wanted. That's probably my type. Maybe not even blonde hair, but like kind of Superman. The way Superman is with his little alfalfa curl, that would probably be the thing I would. We're getting too much into my gay men preferences. So I love him as a friend, but probably not as a lover unless he shaved, trimmed his hair, and dyed his hair color. But he's got a great personality though, right? Oh my god, that's what you say about ugly people. That's not what I mean, see? Pants KH asks, what would you say to fans in the comments section when they say, don't play with blank, they're dumb, annoying, etc.? I would tell them, okay? You know, I get this fucking comment so many fucking times that they're probably right. They're probably right. I probably shouldn't play with that person. Question comes from Frosty Chaos. Have you had any kind of fight with other members of the Derp crew? If you can say, what was it about? Yes, but see, this is the beautiful thing about fighting with friends, okay? You get over it. If they're real friends, you will get over it. The last thing we fought about, honest to God, was Monopoly. We had, if you remember back when I was moving, I uploaded a Monopoly session. We recorded a session before that, and Gom and I got into a bit of a heated debate, and we just scrapped the entire thing, and then we recorded another session after. Yeah, but like I said, with friends, if they're close friends, you don't let that stop the friendship. Okay, Art, we'll completely change directions in that. Ark is asking, what's the weirdest thing you ever jerked it to? I'm probably sure some weird stuff when I was younger. I mean, because you just discover the internet at that point, you discover MTV music videos. But recently, I don't know if I want to say. It was, I'm sure some of you guys watch Rick and Morty. Beth from Rick and Morty. You want the honest truth? That's the honest truth. Beth from Rick and Morty. Next question. Autumn asks, tell us about you and Jess's love story. Okay, here's a little news flash for everyone that thinks that's under the age of 17 or has never been in a relationship. 99.99999% of the times, they are not gonna be a Disney love story. You are not gonna find your prince or princess in a coma, awaiting a kiss to be woken up because some evil wizard or witch has put a spell on there. It's just a normal love story. It's just you like someone, you get close to them, you get comfortable, there's a little bit of a spark, and the spark grows over time. Jess and I, we started talking over Twitter, and eventually, when we were both single, I just sent her a message saying, hey, would you like to meet up one day? And lo and behold, we met up, and I liked her, and I think she still likes me, and things kind of went from there. And that's how most relationships are. Or one thing you take away from this video is that relationships, they're not like Disney videos. Please don't go into a relationship thinking it's gonna be all sunshines and stars. Your first kiss rainbows aren't gonna explode in the background. It's nice. That's what a relationship is. It's nice. Don't expect it to be something else, otherwise you're gonna let the other person down, or you're gonna bring so much baggage to the other person and they're just gonna freak out. Weak Heart asks, have you done any butt stuff? What do you mean by done any butt stuff? Do you mean... I need more information before I can ever answer this, so I refuse to answer this because it's lacking information. Will you get back to me with more info and then maybe we'll talk. Captain asks, which Derp crew members most likely end up in Storm Sean's basement? I would say Smarty because he's easily tricked. I think Smarty you could probably get down there with a Klondike bar at a minimum. Superbones asks, if you had to be raped, who would you want the rapes to be and why? Baywatch, Alex... Yeah, Alexandra Daddario. Yeah, I pick her. Yeah, I pick her, 100%. Oh God, Light of Dusk asks, bad idea, but you asked for it. Do you have a close as an immediate no third cousins, family member in a strained relationship? This can be someone you want a better relationship with, someone who cut you out of their life, someone you cut ties with, or someone you tried to have a better relationship with and failed and or succeeded. Okay, yes, I don't know if, I think I've maybe mentioned this once or twice in the last 8 years. You'll notice a lot, and you can all signs pointing to, or like foreshadowing, that's a bad idea. At least from the way I've talked, or the way I've described it. I have a very, very strained relationship with my mother, almost to the point where we don't have a relationship. How dare you, Chilled? How dare you not have a relationship with the woman who gave birth to you? Well, that's because she's a bitch. She left, what year is it now? It's 2017? Yeah. She left in the middle of the night in 2006 and went to Florida, and she didn't come back. I laugh now, but it really fucked me up a lot back then. A lot of the antisocial behavior, a lot of the weight gain, a lot of jumping to World of Warcraft was because of her. And it really fucked up my teenage years a good amount. And I have yet to be able to forgive her for that. She's tried to contact me and reach out, but I usually just ignore it because my thought is, since you're the one that left, I have to be the one that lets you back in. You don't get to walk back in. So I would say, yes, I do, and I'm working on it. Do I wish I had a better relationship? I don't know. It's at this point, it's a shitty thing to say. It's almost like she's dead, because when you don't have contact with someone for 11 years, they're not in your life anymore. So it's almost like they're not even there. So maybe one day, I would love that. I would love that if I ever had kids one day, for them to be able to know, like, oh, this is their grandmother or whatever it may be. But deep down, I would like to, but also deep down, I know that she's still a shitty person. So, I would say that would be the answer. You know what? As stupid as this sounds, and I hate this saying, I hate this fucking phrase, I hate it. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, I always hate it. Maybe things do happen for a reason, but it's such a stupid phrase, and they don't, because everything's fucking random. But I'm happy things turned out the way they did, because I've had such a nice turn of events after that, well, barring a couple of things. So things have been better, and I can't possibly say that it would have been the same if she didn't leave. So since she left, turn of events led to things being great. So thanks, Mom. Cooper asks, how do we just jump into that question right after that question? Cooper asks, did Jess ever mind that you guys were talking about trying to get laid? No, she knows it's a joke. She knows it's a joke. Jess is so freaking chill, and that's all I could really ask for, because she understands it's a job, and it's me having fun. It's me being silly. So yeah, no, she's never married. She plays The Sims and tries to get laid. Actually, no, she plays The Sims, and I'm not even in her Sims profile. She role plays The Sims as a woman, doesn't talk to anyone, and just collects all the animals and has like 30 animals in her house. It's. I'm telling you, one day I'm gonna take a screenshot of her sim profile and you're like, there's something fucked up. It's the same, right? Same person, Goober asks, will you ever get laid in a virtual reality game? What you in the chin covering? You're being like Leafy here, covering your weak chin. Will you ever get laid in a virtual reality game? I don't know. I haven't really tried to get laid in a virtual reality game. The last virtual reality game I was playing with 3 other dudes, so I hope not. Whisper Sevs asks, do you love me, or have you ever told a fan that you love them? Aw, so nice. I don't think I've ever told anyone I actually love them, but there are a few fans out there that are probably as close as you can get, that like I'm very happy that they're in my life, and I'm glad that I'm in their life too. Oh, Sarah asked, thank God we're getting some silly questions. If you and Z had a kid, what would the name be? Well, since I would be the dad in the relationship and Z would be the mom, obviously, because he's younger, it would be Anthony. It would take my name. I'm obviously the dad here, so Anthony. Gray asks, which of all the derps would you marry? Oh, God. Probably Z. I feel like I can explain Z to my dad easier. Yeah, it would be Z. He'd be easy. Like, look, he's a little cute foreign boy, you know? He just gotta shave the beard. Gray asks, so, are we ever gonna hear the full story about Kara? Nicole asks, who was your first girlfriend and how did it end? Tanner asks, you mentioned that you had a relationship end just like the way it does in game. What happened? Okay, See, I don't know, because this is just like, it's a little personal and it just doesn't involve me. It ended like I would say a lot of online relationships ending, and a lot of it was my fault too. So the full story, where do I start with that? We're gonna need a whole separate video. I was 2.5 years older than her, and here's the honest truth of why I think it ended, or why it, for the most part, ended. I was 2.5 years older than her, and that led to some strain. I was just graduating college, and she was just finishing up her first year of college. She still lived under the rule of her parents, under the thumb of her parents, and I understand that. And for me, I'm like ready to get the hell out there and just go see the world. So she still had a lot of rules that she wasn't ready to let go of, which definitely hurt which definitely hurt the relationship a bit. I mean, some very, very silly things. Just come on, they were very silly. And on top of that, I wouldn't say the relationship was founded on lies, because that's crazy talk, but we realized we were definitely two different people, and the term that came up that happened in the game, sometimes love isn't enough, that got thrown around a lot too, because the fact that we loved each other, obviously, that's what happens in relationships. I hope you love the person you're currently dating, and then if you break up, you never want anything bad to happen to the person, but that love starts to fade away, then it pretty much just goes from that ball of spark into nothing, just by the product of you not being with that person anymore. Like I was explaining earlier with my mom, or with my mother, I don't know why I call her mom, that's too young. Eventually, after so long, it just kind of fades away and you just don't really feel anything. But the relationship, she was very Catholic, and I grew up Catholic, but kind of lapsed Catholic, like I'm not really Catholic anymore, but I grew up and I knew most of it, and I tried to get back into Catholicism, and she was very excited for that, but unfortunately, like halfway through, I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. There's just too many rules, too many regulations, too much Jesus is with us, where I couldn't keep up with it. So I didn't necessarily lie about that, but I tried to kind of, be a better person than was. I tried to be the person I thought I should be, and I wasn't the person who I was. And eventually, after a year or so, that comes out more and more, and you realize that, you can't make this work without completely being someone else, which goes back to the idea of you don't change for someone else. And then towards the end of it, you try and grip onto it, like, no, we can make it work, we can make it do it. And again, at the time, we were a long distance couple, so it was all over Skype and IMs of trying, like, no, this isn't the way it should end. But that's the way it ended. So, but yeah, that was pretty much the full story. And now we never have to mention that ever again. Well-dressed Shorty wants to know, do you feel sad now that Niners often streams rather than does YouTube? Yeah, it's a little bumming. I know we've been trying to connect to play some games and stream some games. It's a little sad when you've been doing something for a long time with someone and then they're going a different path because that works better for them. I wouldn't say I'm sad, but I'm a little bummed out because he is a close friend. So you want to play games with close friends. I know we were supposed to stream Overwatch the other day, but I got caught up with moving stuff. So I want to do more with him, and even if that means getting involved more in his streams because that's what he's doing, well, that's what we're gonna do because he's my friend and I want to play games with him. That guy wants to know, weirdest place you've ever masturbated. Airport. It was a very stressful flight. For those of you that don't know, I really fucking hate flying. I really hate flying. Anub asks, what's your most embarrassing story that you can look back at and laugh involving Jess? Oh, adopting Rex. God, sometimes we just look back on that and think that was a dumb idea. No, it does involve Rex, but one of the best things, when we adopted him, we were dating for about a year and a half at that point. We brought him back to the apartment, and I pulled Jess in, and I gave her a hug, and I'm like, I'm so happy we have our little family. And at that moment, Rex took a giant shit on the carpet. And I swear to God, you can't, it's not even... Oh, it's like a scripty cliche love movie, but that's the way it is. The credits would have rolled right at the end. Zolchel wants to know, did you use the fact that you're a YouTuber to pick up people? Well, I will say, I have never used the fact like, hey babe, guess who's got 1 million people back at home? Although that's kind of creepy, that makes you sound like a mass murderer. People knew I was a YouTuber, and I think one of the reasons why Jess agreed to meet me in the city was simply because of the fact that she knew, well, he can't be a murderer or rapist, he's a YouTuber. Although looking back on it, boom, Minecraft YouTubers, 9 out of 10 times, they're a pedophile, all right? I don't think I could say that, but it seems like it. It really seems like it's allegedly Minecraft YouTubers, 9 out of 10 times are pedophiles, so it could happen. But no, so get the hell out of here, you're a pain in the ass. Tibolio wants to know the weirdest thing in my search history at the moment. Okay, Control H. Okay, don't call the cops. Toys R Us shootings. And not for any bad reason. Z and I, we were in a call last night and we were wondering, where do you think the safest place to go is? Where do you think there's never been a place of attack? So we were just Googling restaurants just to see if there was ever stuff there. We were like, Moe's shooting. Oh my God, people were killed at Moe's. Chipotle shooting. People were killed at Chipotle. And we've pretty much come across every single restaurant someone's been shot in, at least in the US. So that's probably the weirdest thing. NSA, if you're listening, I'm a good person. I mean, barring all the other shit I've said for the last 20 minutes, I'm a good person. Please don't come down and take my shit. Genja Ninja wants to know, chill, let's keep it simple. Have you ever stolen from a shop? If so, what's the most valuable thing you took? I stole a pink crayon when I was 3 and then got punished for it. Swear to God, I do not believe in thievery. If you're a thief, you are very low, like below low. Like, I mean, you have rapist, Hitler, murderer, thief, murderer. I don't steal. It was a pink crayon and I learned my lesson ever since. Trainer Yellow wants to know, do you ever remember Martha? Do you ever look at other watermelons? Martha is the only watermelon that has my eyes, and it's always gonna be like that. Of course I remember Martha. I made Martha. That's the most thing I'm proud of. Like that's my biggest accomplishment on YouTube, creating a fake watermelon and having someone cosplay as it. Fred wants to know, okay, chill, be real. Has anything Jess Bugger ever done ever top this? No, I'm sorry, Jess. That was really cool. Ellie wants to know, what is the one thing you've always wanted to do but have never done? Murder. I've wanted to commit a murder, just to know what it feels like. No, it's not that. An Upright Toaster wants to know, what have you been struggling with recently and are currently dealing with? It's a mix, and I guess we'll just go into it. We just moved back from California, which was a long move after just moving there only a year previously. So location, where I'm currently living, is a little bumming me out. I wouldn't say I'm not depressed, but I'm definitely a little saddened by the fact that I'm stuck in this room for a good bit. Still trying to figure out the next living arrangements. Struggling with location. I don't know where I want to be. I don't know what I want to be. I mean, that's the question that everyone asks themselves when they're growing up, and I even think when you're already fully grown up, you're still going to ask yourself the same question. And I'm trying to balance the fact, where should we be living? Where does Jess want to live? Where do I want to live? Where can we have a family or make a living that also makes us happy? So that's currently what I'm struggling with. First world problems, right? Hey, if there's still food on the table and the roof over my head, I can count my lucky blessings, but we all are struggling with something, so I thought I would just share that with you. Smosh Smile asks, when is that sex tape coming out? Who will be featured again? I forgot, you said so many times so long ago. 10 million subscribers. Boom. Why not? Amanda asks, can you give me advice on how to cope with my parents' divorce? I hope you're okay that I'm using your name here. You know what? There is no real coping with it. I mean, I went through it. I mean, now the majority of kids go through it, and there's so many people still go through it, and yet it still sucks for every single one of us. It's kind of like death when you think about it. It's the worst thing. I think taxes are pretty bad, giving public speeches are bad, but death is pretty up there. Yet everyone still has to accept it and deal with it. And I think divorce is becoming an issue where it's a horrible thing for kids, yet most people are going to have to cope and deal with it. The one thing you have to realize is that unless you're in my situation, your parents still do love you. I couldn't say the same for my mom, not to make it about me. They do still love you, and you have to realize that this is not about you at all. This is about them being not being adults, them being kids and not being able to work through something or work out something and trying to make it better for their kids. So I would just say, don't get used as a pawn in anyone's scheme. If you don't want to do something, if they're telling you, oh, say this to your mom or say this to your dad, don't do it. Doesn't matter. You know what? They're going to forgive you for it. They're your parents. Do what makes you feel comfortable. Never put yourself in a position where you don't feel comfortable doing something. I know that's hard and awkward because they are your parent. They're your lifeline to the world. Like, oh, they're my ride. They're who drives me to school. They're who pays the bills. They will still do that, I promise. But just tell them when you feel like you're being used or manipulated. Tell them straight up. That's what I did, and it made me feel a lot more comfortable expressing that I didn't like the way things were going. For better or worse, it turned out for better, and I hope it does for you as well. Oh, good, a positive question. Shoopy asks, what do you like most about each of the derps? Z is very kind. He's very genuine, and I think he's sincere. He's a little stupid when it comes to things, but he's very sincere. Gom likes to win, and he's got a very aggressive personality, and he's good at video games, and it makes it exciting when you do things with him. And Smarty doesn't have a malicious bone in his body. He's a little dumb, but he's not malicious at all, and that's really hard to find with people. Everything he does is with a good intention. That's almost impossible to find. Why is Smarty so bad at everything? Because he doesn't have a malicious bone in his body. Maybird wants to know, what are your worst and best experiences while meeting fans? My best experience was probably my first time. That's not a sex story. It was PAX East 2013. I ran into two fans. They're gonna kill me because I forgot one of the names, but I remember one. Emily. Oh God, fuck. Her name was Emily. And another fan. And they were very much very excited to meet me too. It was my first time at a convention, first time actually meeting fans. And they got a little princess satchel that said princess, and I wore it. And they put stickers on me, and it was super warming and exciting to actually wow. You know, I've been doing this behind the computer for 4 years. At that point, there's actually people out there, and that was getting to know a little bit about their lives was very, very important to me because they had pretty rough lives, and we talked about that. So that was the most warming experience I've had, and that was the first time. So that was exciting. The worst experience, and you fucking know who you are. My last apartment that I lived in California, met a fan in an elevator. I'm like, oh, cool, fan. He's lives in the same apartment complex. Great. He asked for a picture. Okay, wonderful. We take a picture. The jerk off then posts my address online a week later in the comment section. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? You know who you are. You're a piece of shit. And I hope horrible things happen to you. I hope you get a severe case of the diarrhea. I hope it's awful. I hope you shit your pants. Anyway, those are my best and worst experiences. B wants to know, just tell me how big your dick is, please. Thank. I would probably get kicked off Team Big Dick. I'm just average white guy. That is completely honestly the truth. TMI, just completely average. Sorry for all the ladies out there who were expecting a horse or something. I am total trash. Wants to know, what was the hardest thing for you to do in your life? Well, I mean, it was coping with the loss of my brother. He passed away about 7 years ago due to drugs. And that's probably been the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And I hope to God I never have to deal with something that stressful or that painful in my life ever again, because nothing will ever match that. So thanks for bringing down the mood. And that's just a message for those who do drugs out there. Don't do drugs. I know it's they joke about it and a silly thing, but don't. It's you may not care about what happens to you, but everyone else cares about what happens to you. So just don't start. Just say no. I'm not trying to be your mom here, but just don't. You know, it's just not worth it. There is a lot of better ways to find happiness, like chocolate, pure dopamine right there, or having sex, either or, both dopamine. They both release the same sensors. Okay, Sarah, what is one of your biggest regrets in life? I don't know. I really not to try and think about the regrets in life. I know there's branching paths in my life. Let's say, hypothetically, like I was explaining before, if I would have talked to my mother and maybe moved down to Florida, how would I be then if I went that route and didn't decide to stay up here and live in New York and be with my friends and my father? What would have happened then? What if I went to a college that was more of a dorm college and I would have went away to college instead of stayed home? What would have changed me? What if I would have worked through the first relationship? I would have never met Jess. So it was just there are things in your life that I wouldn't consider regrets, but I will say there's just branching paths that you're curious about, but I would never say regrets, because as they say, no regrets, man. No, I don't know. It's just it's hard to think of things that you actually want to change, because if you dawn upon them, so if you think about them so much, I think that's what hurts more than anything else. So I try not to. I just acknowledge there are different paths in my life that I just didn't go down. That girl Chaz wants to know, is there anything you would change about your YouTube career? Yeah, I would change it so it's not Serious Gamers, C-R-I-U-S. I'd fucking make it serious spelt correctly, or curious. Either or, just not a C-R-I-O-U-S gamers. But I would love to change that. Nico wants to know favorite date or moment with Jess Bubker. Or, as you may not know, we were a long distance couple for the first year, which meant taking the train to go see each other. She lived in Connecticut, I lived on Long Island. It was a 2-hour train back and forth. It was a kind of a pain in the butt. There was one time during the summer of the first year we were dating, so we were dating at that point 5-6 months, that she decided on a whim to text me saying, hey, I'm not feeling too good, I'm going to go to bed. Understands, okay, she's not feeling well. I get it. It happens. Okay, so that way I expect if I text her, I'm not going to get a response back. Totally get that. So she lied to me. What she was actually doing, she was driving here for the first time. And it's, again, it's a 2-hour drive, but actually driving so she can have her car here. And she drove here and surprised me, and she called my phone and said, hey, you have a special package outside. And I looked, I didn't see anything. And then when I got downstairs, she was at the door. And at that point, I wasn't expecting a girl to be coming over, let alone my girlfriend. So I was in my underwear, shorts, no shirt, all disheveled. My room was a mess. I smelled bad, and she was at the door, and it brought me a little tear to my eye, because it was a very nice surprise. Then we went to go see The Purge, the second Purge film, and eat a bucket of popcorn. So it was literally one of the best days. Nessie wants to know, was your Sims 3 stream from last year based on real experiences, the one where you killed a teenage hooker? No, I don't think so. I'll have to check my diary to see if I've done anything like that, but no, I don't think so. Mainly, it's just that's all fantasy. Ajax wants to know, if you were asked to, would you join ChilledChaos, and is there still a beef between you and Nova? Absolutely would not join ChilledChaos. I don't want my ship burned down, pepper sprayed in my face, or stuff exploded, and there's absolutely no beef between Nova. He actually reached out a week or two ago asking if I wanted to play games, and I'm sure, let me know when you're free. So no beef. That's something that's literally 4 or 5 years old. And our last question comes from Healer Soraka. What does a pickle have to do with the briefcase? And I still don't know what I said, or why it was said, or who said it, and I have no idea. Internet, this has been Chilled Exposed. I hope you learned a little bit about me. I hope you understand a little bit more insight into who I am. Some of it was jokey, a lot of it was real, and that's what I'm here. I'm here to try and entertain you, trying to give as much as me as I can without being too over the top, or without being too serious at the same time. So I will see you tomorrow. We're gonna play some Friday the 13th or Shell Shock. Haven't decided what I wanted to edit yet, because I still have to do that. But hey, maybe one day I'll hire an editor, and then I'll just sit back and reap all the YouTube reward money. Although with current ad revenue, it's not much. Internet, you guys have a great night. Thanks for watching. I know it's for a little bit longer on the side of the video, but hey, it's good to share sometimes. And if you guys want to share anything with me, feel free to do so. I'll be here. Internet, I'm out.